Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, Democrat from Illinois, and Chief Deputy Whip, and Nia Malika Henderson, political reporter for the Washington Post. Hello and Happy New Year to both of you.
To you, too.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Congresswoman, how can Democrats deal with the Republican Party that's in such disarray?
Well, I actually liked what happened last night. That is, John Boehner said he didn't need to follow the rule of having the majority of the majority party, but actually did let the House work its will, and a majority of Democrats, all but 16, and 85 Republicans, were able to move the country forward. I'm hoping that that'll be a pattern, actually, that will remain. Now, whether or not the leadership is going to be able to stay as it is, or there's going to be this internal battling, but honestly, what we have among so many of the Republicans in the House of Representatives, and now even Pat Toomey in the Senate, who said he wants to see on the debt ceiling the government shut down. You know, when you've got crazy people like that, there is no hope of actually getting something done that's good for the country.
But Congresswoman, give me a sense from inside the Beltway. When you see Boehner voting for the deal and Cantor voting against the deal, how big a deal is that?
Well, some say that that John Boehner tomorrow may not win on the first ballot in his caucus, in his conference, to be the speaker. I don't really know what that means. You had Paul Ryan and John Boehner voting for it, and Eric Cantor voting against it. Clearly, there is a split. But John Boehner, let's face it, is from kind of the old school of a politician and a leader who wants to negotiate. The problem is he can't really hold his conference together. He's not a great leader of his conference.
Well, Nia Malika, let's pick that up because right-wing media is saying Boehner could be pushed out tomorrow. The headline on Breitbart says sources say there are enough Republicans willing to unseat Speaker Boehner. And then there's been like a right-wing freak out. They're like out in full force on Twitter today. Fox News commentator Todd Starnes said about Boehner, quote, "This is what happens when your political party is led by an emotionally compromised weeper." Right-wing radio host Brian Fisher tweeted, "Boehner has absolutely no concept of the damage he's doing to the heart and soul of the Republican Party." And Matt Drudge wrote, "Republicans raising taxes on 77% of households surrenders guns next." I mean, a lot of venom out there from the right, Nia Malika.
There is a lot of venom, and what a reversal of fortune that Boehner has seen. He rode in on the Tea Party wave in 2010, and now there is a full-scale vote. I think it's pretty unlikely that anyone is going to challenge him successfully for the leadership, the actual position. But again, I think in spirit, it's hard to see that he is wielding much authority and much leadership with that caucus. You have Cantor on the one hand presiding really over a sort of separate caucus in the Tea Party. There had been reports initially that he was backing Boehner and backing some of the moves that he was making on the fiscal cliff, but then he comes out to vote against this bill, really solidifying, I think, his role as maybe a speaker in waiting or certainly the head of the Tea Party caucus.
Now, Congresswoman, the Speaker's spokesman, Speaker Boehner's spokesman, is saying they're confident he'll be reelected. But there has been a lot of damage to the Republican brand. I mean, look at NBC Wall Street Journal poll found 30% have a positive view of Republicans. That's real low. 45% have a negative view. Overall, it's negative 15 points. A lot of that the work of this do-nothing Congress. He can be vulnerable, Congresswoman.
Well, he may be, but think about the results of that poll. What it's really saying is that the American people are sick of the Republican Party standing in the way of actually getting something done. So Boehner is really on the right side of that. Overall, the Tea Party Republicans and those who stand with them, They are the ones that are jeopardizing the Republican Party and taking positions that mean that the Congress is in gridlock, that we can't deal. We stop people from, we help people get their unemployment checks right now. We made sure that Americans did not get their taxes go up. And there are those now in the Republican Party who say, oh, well, we just shouldn't do that. I'm sorry, that's why people hate the Republican Party.
And in that light, Nia Malika, you know, the president even came out saying he hoped that the next negotiations won't be quite as dramatic. Take a listen.
The one thing that I think hopefully in the new year we'll focus on is seeing if we can put a package like this together with a little bit less drama, a little less brinksmanship, not scare the heck out of folks quite as much.
Do you think, Nia Malika, a lot of the negative view of Americans has been the brinksmanship and the drama and the taking America to the edge that the Republicans have done with both the debt ceiling negotiation and now with the fiscal cliff of 2012, 2013, really?
I think so. There was a Gallup poll out just recently that said, you know, by a ratio of 4 to 1, Americans think that Republicans, the Congress specifically, are standing in the way of progress, of American progress. And I think Republicans really have to look at going forward, what is their brand? They are saying that they have leverage going into this next debt ceiling debate and the sequestration debate as well. But I think they've got to look at how they are viewed by Americans so far, and it looks like they're viewed in a pretty dim light. Boehner, I think, to his credit, is someone who is from the old school, who really wants to legislate. The question going forward is how he deals with such a large caucus that really is trying to prevent things from happening. You have certain Congress folks and folks on the Hill saying that they want to shut down the government, and I certainly think that's not going to go over well with the American public.
Well, Congresswoman, if you and I wanted to see Boehner remain, we could always say we hope Eric Cantor wins and support him tonight. That would certainly help Boehner out in that caucus.
Well, I'll tell you, the Republican Party's problem goes so deep. This is a party that wants to cut Social Security and Medicare. This is the party that doesn't want to, or at least some of them, pay the bills of the United States of America that have already been incurred. So this goes way beyond who's speaker and who runs in the next election. This is about the welfare of our nation. They are on the wrong side right now.
And I think I'm going to have to leave it there, but I think you're right. This is more than who is the speaker, is what is being spoken. That's the problem with this crowd.
That's right.
Congresswoman Schakowsky and Nia Malika Henderson, thank you for your time, both of you tonight. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks.